There's a silent ecosystem inside your body that's influencing how fast you age. Not just your digestion, but your energy levels, inflammation, even your ability to think clearly and stay emotionally stable. And it's not your genetics, it's not your workout routine, it's not even how much protein or antioxidants you eat. It's your bacteria. We now know, thanks to advanced microbiome mapping and neuroimmunology, that certain species of gut bacteria are directly tied to the biological rate of aging. That includes how quickly your cells regenerate, how much energy your mitochondria produce, and how inflamed or resilient your body stays over time. One of the most shocking findings comes from a 2021 study published in Nature Metabolism, which tracked people across decades and discovered that the most long-lived individuals didn't just eat better or sleep longer. They had more diverse and metabolically active gut bacteria, especially those that produced short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which act as powerful anti-inflammatory agents in the brain and body. So let me ask you this. When was the last time you thought about feeding your bacteria instead of yourself? Because here's what the research shows. If you're over 40, your microbiome diversity is likely shrinking. That shrinkage means less protection against the oxidative stress and mitochondrial decline that naturally increase with age. In plain terms, less microbiome support equals faster aging. But here's the good news. Unlike your DNA, your gut bacteria are changeable, trainable, even reprogrammable, often in a matter of days. Which brings us to the real story behind energy and longevity. It's not just about calories, movement, or discipline. It's about what kind of bacteria you're hosting and what kind of messages they're sending to your brain, your immune system, and your mitochondria. In today's episode, we're going to explore the truth about anti-aging bacteria, and I mean real, science-backed insights, not wellness hype. You'll learn which microbial species are associated with longer lifespan and youthful metabolism and how to support them, how gut bacteria influence your mitochondria, the engines of your cells, to either amplify or drain your daily energy, the surprising link between microbiome health and emotional resilience, including anxiety, focus, and even motivation, how antibiotics, artificial sweeteners, and stress sabotage your microbiome's anti-aging potential, and what to do about it. The best foods, timing strategies, and supplements to foster a younger gut, including prebiotics, polyphenols, and postbiotics, and a daily protocol grounded in neuroscience and behavioral science to help you shift your internal ecosystem in just 7 days. This isn't just about aging slower. It's about living better, more clarity, more energy, more adaptability, because your bacteria aren't just passengers in your body. They're chemical communicators that influence how you feel, think, move, and heal. So if you've ever felt like your energy is slipping, your mood is dulling, or your body isn't bouncing back like it used to, this might be the most important system you're not optimizing yet. Watch this research-based video until end, and you will learn how to control aging physically and mentally. More importantly, in this video, I will ask some questions about your daily habits, health, conditions, and routine. These questions are also part of a research, and I will be grateful if you help me with my research. Thank you for that. So let's begin. Let's change that. Starting now. If I asked you to name the organ most responsible for your lifespan, you'd probably think of your heart, maybe your brain. But today, scientists are increasingly pointing to something far less obvious and far more dynamic. We're not just talking about digestion. We're talking about a microbial ecosystem that controls inflammation, immunity, metabolism, even gene expression, and ultimately, how quickly or slowly you age. Let's start with one of the most striking studies in the field. A 2021 paper published in Nature Metabolism examined over 9,000 samples from people ranging in age from 18 to over 100. The researchers discovered something profound. Those who lived into their 90s and beyond showed a distinctive microbial pattern. Their gut bacteria didn't decline with age. In fact, they continued to evolve. In contrast, people with stagnant or shrinking microbial diversity showed faster biological aging, higher inflammation, and greater risk of chronic disease. The implication? It's not just your lifestyle or your genes that matter, it's the adaptability of your microbes over time. So which bacteria are actually doing the heavy lifting? Here's what the research shows. One key player is Akkermansia muciniphila, a bacterium that helps maintain the gut lining and reduce low-grade inflammation, a major driver of aging. Studies have linked higher levels of Akkermansia with better insulin sensitivity, reduced body fat, and improved metabolic health. Another is Faecalbacterium prausnitzii, a powerful anti-inflammatory microbe that produces butyrate, a short-chain fatty acid, SCFA, known to support colon health, reduce oxidative stress, and even modulate immune function. In fact, people with higher levels of butyrate-producing bacteria tend to have younger biological ages, regardless of their chronological age. So what's happening in your body when these microbes thrive? They produce metabolites that communicate with your mitochondria, the energy factories in your cells. They signal immune cells to lower inflammatory cytokines. They even influence epigenetic switches, determining which genes are activated or silenced. In other words, your bacteria are biochemical messengers. And when you feed the right ones, they slow the aging process from the inside out. Here's the exciting part. You don't need exotic supplements or extreme diets to make this shift. What these microbes crave is actually pretty simple. Diverse fibers, polyphenols, and fermented foods. Start with this protocol. Add one new plant each day. Research from the American Gut Project shows that people who eat more than 30 different plant types per week have significantly more microbial diversity than those who eat fewer than 10. That includes herbs, spices, seeds, and even teas. Feed your butyrate producers. Incorporate resistant starches like cooked and cooled potatoes, green bananas, oats, which help nourish butyrate-producing bacteria like F. prausnitzii. Support Akkermansia naturally. This microbe thrives when you fast for 12 to 16 hours overnight, and include polyphenol-rich foods like pomegranate, cranberry, and cocoa. Embrace fermented foods. A Stanford University study in 2021 showed that people who ate fermented foods daily for 10 weeks increased their microbiome diversity and reduced markers of inflammation across the board. What's amazing is that these shifts can happen quickly. Some studies show measurable changes in microbiome composition in as little as 48 to 72 hours after changing your diet. But here's something deeper to reflect on. Your microbiome isn't just about adding years to your life, it's about adding vitality to those years. When your gut is healthy, you recover faster, think more clearly, sleep more deeply, and feel more emotionally balanced. Your biology becomes more adaptable, and your day-to-day energy becomes less of a struggle. So let me ask you directly, what's your biggest struggle with sleep, fitness, and aging? Drop it in the comments, because this channel is here to help you turn those struggles into science-backed strategies. As we continue, we'll look at how these bacteria talk to your mitochondria and how that relationship can literally shift your cellular energy production. No caffeine required. And if this part was eye-opening, the next one is going to connect dots you've never seen before between your microbiome and your mitochondria, the engines of youth inside your cells. You've likely heard the phrase, you are what you eat, but what if I told you on a deeper biological level, you are what your microbes convert your food into? That's not just poetic, it's molecularly true. Right now, inside your cells are tiny structures called mitochondria, often described as the power plants of your body. They generate ATP, the chemical energy your body uses to walk, think, breathe, and repair itself. But here's the part most people don't realize. Your mitochondria don't operate in isolation. They are deeply influenced and in many ways regulated by the trillions of microbes living in your gut. In fact, these two systems, microbes and mitochondria, are in constant biochondrial dialogue. And understanding that conversation may be the key to unlocking more energy, less fatigue, and longer cellular life. Let's unpack the science. A landmark 2020 review in Nature Reviews Endocrinology showed that microbial metabolites, especially short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, acetate, and propionate, play a direct role in mitochondrial health. How? These SCFAs improve mitochondrial biogenesis, your cell's ability to create more energy factories, reduce oxidative stress, which slows cellular aging, enhance fatty acid oxidation, so your body becomes more efficient at burning fat for energy. Translation: a well-fed microbiome makes your mitochondria stronger and smarter, and the result is more clean, sustained energy, without the crash and burn cycle of stimulants or sugar. Think about it this way. Your mitochondria are like tiny engines, but your gut microbes, they're the engineers tuning those engines, adjusting fuel efficiency, reducing toxic byproducts, and determining how well your vehicle performs as it ages. And when things go wrong, that's when the energy problems start. A disrupted microbiome from antibiotics, processed food, chronic stress produces fewer SCFAs and more endotoxins like lipopolysaccharide, LPS. These inflammatory compounds damage mitochondrial function, slow down SCFP production, and trigger systemic fatigue. This is one of the hidden reasons why so many people feel tired for no reason. The body isn't just lacking sleep, it's lacking cellular communication between gut and energy system. Now, here's the empowering part. You can influence this conversation daily through small science-based habits. A simple tool to apply is this. Start your morning with polyphenols plus prebiotics, a glass of warm green tea, rich in EGCG, and a small bowl of oats with ground flax and berries. This combination feeds the microbes that produce SCFAs and also supports mitochondrial antioxidant systems. Time your fasts to support mitochondrial turnover. Fasting for 12 to 16 hours a few days per week activates mitophagy, your cell's process for clearing out damaged mitochondria. It also promotes the growth of beneficial bacteria like Akkermansia, which thrive during fasted states and enhance mitochondrial signaling. Breathe for your bugs and your cells. Stress hormones like cortisol disrupt the microbiome and impair mitochondrial efficiency. A tool I often recommend is physiological sighing, a double inhale through the nose followed by a slow exhale through the mouth. Just 1 to 2 minutes can lower stress and improve oxygen delivery to both microbes and mitochondria. Have you ever noticed how you can eat perfectly, sleep decently, but still feel sluggish? That's often not about willpower. It's about biochemistry. If your microbes aren't sending the right signals, your mitochondria won't perform optimally no matter how much coffee you drink. And here's a fascinating twist. Your microbiome doesn't just support energy perception, it also shapes your energy perception. In other words, how tired or vibrant you feel is influenced by microbial signals that interact with brain regions like the insula and anterior cingulate cortex, which monitor bodily energy states. So if you've been blaming yourself for low motivation or brain fog, pause. There's a physiological reason behind it, and it can be rewired from the gut out. If this insight is helping you, consider subscribing. We're just getting started.